What is going on, everyone? We are here for week 9 of the Fanatec GT3 Fixed Track Guide Series. This week we are at Barcelona Historic and we've migrated from the Mercedes AMG to the BMW GT3. So, a little bit of a different style of driving. Obviously, car has similar build characteristics, front-engined, all the weights in the front, so the car does tend to sort of handle the same. But there is quite a few differences between the two cars as well. So looking forward to sort of working through them. This is really the first time I've ever driven the BMW. I've done a few laps here and there over time, but I've never actually sort of been in the car in a competitive sense for a little bit of time and learnt the car. So pretty excited to actually learn how this car operates a little bit more. Also, you're lucky enough that this track guide this week I actually did for a league that I sponsor. And you'll be able to view the video just up there on the right hand side, and that is in the Porsche GT3R as well, around the historic Barcelona layout. So slightly different track temps, but we did use a very similar baseline. I don't think it was the fixed, I think it was just a general baseline. So but that was about a month ago, so it's still a pretty relevant track guide for if you guys are driving the Porsche. Make sure you go and check that one out as well. So, but other than that, appreciate everybody that's been following the channel, subscribing, liking the videos, getting in contact with us. The support to the channel's been amazing. So I really appreciate all of that and everything that you guys do to contribute to the community. So thanks again, guys. So without further ado, let us kick off into Barcelona Historic for week 9 of the Fanatec GT3 Track Guides. Alright guys, so now we're going to break down the lap. So as you're coming down the front straight, obviously, stay as far to the left-hand side as possible. So we're setting up for a big braking zone down here. We're in the BMW, obviously, so slightly different car to what we're used to. This car seems to like a lower gear to help the car rotate. So just before the 100-meter board, there is a traffic light. Well, it's a hazard light, so it's a safety car light, but it looks like a traffic light. So that is roughly, just past that is where we're braking. So we put 2 tyres over the back of the curb, nice big brake pressure, all the way down the second gear here. So normally, like in other cars, we've run third. But for this, I don't know if it's something about the way I drive the car, or I'm just finding I'm having to use lower gears to help with rotation of the car. So I turn myself in. There's a little pole on the fence line right here. This is my turning marker. So it's about, I don't know, 7, 6 red blocks from the end of the curb. I start to turn the car in. Now, second gear. So what I actually do, crazy enough, and it is hard to do lap after lap, but I want to get 2 tyres between the sand and the yellow curb. So I want my right tyres between the sand and the yellow curb. Now, in some cars, it's really good through there. Other cars bottoms out. The BMW seems to bottom out a little bit. It doesn't hurt you, but it does make it more challenging when it comes off the curb. It does tend to sometimes not land so nicely, I guess you could say. So, but that's the input you have. You either play the game and you stay on the yellow side of the on the other side of the curb and lose a little bit of time, or you try and maximize and actually run over that curb and get away with it. So, when you come off, you want to diagonal the car directly across the track. Still in second. Up on 2 wheels on the green bit, then up to third. Run the car in. I run in the middle for a little bit. As soon as I start to sort of get in line with the Pirelli sign, I get to the inside and I stay on the inside of the track. So I run the car around. Now, you'll see from this point here, we get to this little orange block and the flag marshal hut just off in the distance. So by this point, you want to be 4th gear and full on the noise as close to the curb as possible. So as you get closer, the car's going to continue to rotate through the corner, but you're as close to the edge of the road as possible. Let the car slide off. It's going to use all the escape curb, and you want to brake under the Repsol bridge, back to 2nd gear. Big brake pressure, 2 gears. Diagonal the car in early in 2nd. Clip the apex just in line or just as you're getting in line with the orange tyre wall here, just on your left-hand side. And then start to rotate the car. The car you want to keep as close to the curb as possible the whole way through the corner. Till you get to this point here where you're in line with the next orange block. Really start to pick the throttle up there. The car's going to slide a little bit wider. That's alright. Up to 3rd gear. Then diagonal the car straight towards the orange block in the far corner of the sand pit. Back to 2nd gear. There is no brake marker here, but I will say this. You want to be diagonaling towards the orange block and you want to start to turn that car at the corner on the left by the end of the curb. So you've got to find that balance in the car. I'm finding it's about the 120 meter mark because you're slightly downhill as well. But like I said, there is no marker, so it's all estimate roughly to work out where it is. So get to the end of the curb, turn the car in, rotate it on the green block, let the car track out to the edge of the road, use all the track, run it down, up to 3rd gear, aim for the cone to start making sure you're using all the track, up to 4th, at the start of the curb here on the right hand side, big brake pressure, down 2 gears to 2nd. Now turn in 3 red squares from the end. So right at this point here, start to turn the car at the corner. 2 tyres up on the curb. Wrap the car around. Once it wraps around, then drop it off and diagonal it across. Use all the curb that you can without hitting the yellow police bits. Up to 3rd gear. Now this one's a tricky one. I brake and lift at the end of the curb and turn in all at the same time. So brake, lift, brake, and then turn the car in. Right? I want to get 2 tyres up on the curb just past this yellow sausage curb right there. So from that point now, I get 2 tyres up on the curb. Let the car rotate round. Don't let them come off the white line until you pass the escape road. The car's going to run to the edge of the road. Up through the gears. Start to diagonal the car to the right hand side to get ready for the next big brake pressure. Now, I'm braking just after the 100 meter board. There's like a pole in between the 100 meter board and the fence and the little barrier, the signage that goes over the track. So it's probably about 85, 90 meters. So about this point here, nice big brake pressure. Back to 2nd gear. Now I turn in at the end of the painted green bit, so it's quite late in the corner. So turn in now. Get the car to wrap on the curb, so stay nice and tight through here, the whole way through. Start to pick the throttle up and modulate. Follow the curb round until you get in line with the cones, and then diagonal the car across. Up to third gear, then back to second gear. Wrap the car around the curb till you get to this point here. There's like a little line in the wall, and that's what I use to let the car track off. And then I say track off, I'm tracking off a meter, because then what I want to do is I make sure that I start to rotate the car back, and I want to be at that curb as the yellow sleeping policeman ends and carry all that throttle out of the corner. Focus on the drive out, use all the track on the exit. Up to fourth, turn in at the end of the curb. Use all the curb on the inside. Let the car track to the edge of the road again. You want to be over the curb between the yellow sausage curb and the normal curb. Right, so in this position here, use all that circuit to your advantage. Turn in at the end of the curb on the left here. Now as you turn in, you want to carry all that speed. I drop down a gear back to third just to help with a little bit of rotation. Once I get to the pit wall and the curb, I should be able to pick the throttle up, shift up to fourth on the exit, and carry all that speed down the straight. And there you go, guys. That is your walkthrough lap of Barcelona Historic in the BMW GT3 car. I hope this has helped you. Good luck for week 9's racing, and we will see you next week for week 10.